Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Nev's Garage. If this is your first time joining us here, please hit that old subscribe button and also toggle on that little bell. That way you'll be notified when our next video drops. Now, don't worry too much about that now though, because still got to get through this episode. Today, going to be fitting this solar panel to my Subaru Vortex here, right? Now, why am I going to do that? Well, I don't get to drive the old girl every day anymore, right? It's turned into a true project car, and sometimes when I jump in it, battery's down a bit, doesn't have enough juice in it, right? So what this bad boy is going to do, it's basically just going to trickle charge the battery, keep it maintained. So when I jump in the old girl, she cranks over and she's ready to take it for a strap, right? Supposed to be a pretty good unit, should be a pretty simple job. Let's get into it. Okay, so here's a couple of my roof tiles, spare ones that I've got. So let's just kind of see how the panel's going to mount up. It'll just sit on there like that. Now I've made up some aluminum clips. These ones go up under the top tiles, the ones above these ones. And these clips go up under these tiles. Then I've got some extruded aluminium RHS, which I'm going to cut to length, fasten to the brackets, and then I'm going to fasten the solar panel onto this. So it'll rise it up off the tiles, so the water's not going to back up against the top of it, but flow underneath it. Alright. First of all, we need to lengthen the cable. Now I've got a couple of old nitrile gloves on the alligator clamps, right, to keep them insulated while we work on it, because I don't want it to short circuit. Okay, so what I've got is some twin core 4mm double sheath cable, the equivalent of what's already on it, except it's black. I'm going to join it onto this so we've got enough cable to come through the roof down into my garage, right? So let's join it on now. Okay, so there we go, got the two wires merged now. Now I'm just going to insulate the ends, so there's no shorting happening. Like that. Cool. Better get up on the roof, eh? Alright, so got to get up on the roof now and install all our brackets and everything so we can put our solar panel up, right? So first of all, select a bit of roof real estate to put the solar panel, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it halfway between these existing solar roof extractors I've got. So I'm going to plonk it right here. I reckon that'll be optimum. It faces the north. It's one of the highest parts of the roof. It's going to get optimum sun rays to get that sweet 0.4 amps of power. Let's do it. Alright, so I can't really leave these tiles because they're sitting under the top, so I have to lift these ones. So I'm going to put the solar panel just here. Alright, so let's one by one just lift these tiles enough to stick our bracket under. like so, and now the other one. So it's going to go about there. Now they have to be 500 apart. Now I'm going to put the bottom ones on, underneath the bottom tile. These are a little trickier, but not too bad. Make sure we've got a 500 again. Okay, that's pretty good. Now the rails just sit on top of these like this. So what I need to do now is just drill a hole down through here so I can screw it to the bracket. I'm going to screw it into place. Okay, that's one in position. Now this one. Right, there's our second one in place. Alright guys, so now we just measure between the two bars, right? Make sure the spacing's right for our panel. The panel's 500mm wide. So we just adjust these to suit. Lovely. Lovely. And they're pretty straight as well. Cool. Alright, so they're in the right position now. So we better go get our panel. So here's our panel. Get an extra lead on there too, right? So she's going to sit here like this. Up on the frame like that. It's pretty sweet, eh? So what we're going to do now is just drill the holes, screw it down. So I'm sort of going to mark the holes first, just in case I go into the panel, because that ain't going to be fun. Good drill, this one. Stanley Fatmax cordless 18 volt. Check out the review for this bad boy and its impact driver brother over at Nev Reviews. Alright, the moment of truth. Don't break the panel, Nev. Now I'm going to use the stainless screws that projector provided with the unit, because why the hell not? I'm going to use a really low torque setting because I don't want to crush the frame, and in we go. One. And there she is, all mounted. Looks pretty schmick. Okay, so all we do now is tuck the wiring up under the tile. And we're pretty much done. Bit of conduit. Trim it all off, make it look nice and purdy. Okay, so I've got it fed under the tile now. So all I've got to do is get up in the ceiling, cut a hole in the sarking and drop the wire down through it, and we're good to go. Okay, so it turns out I don't have to cut the sarking because it just pokes straight through, right? You can see my screwdriver there. So all I've got to do is just pull the cable through. There's our join, and I reckon that'll be it. Okay, cool. Got the cable through. Alright guys, well, got the wire run through now. And she looks pretty damn neat. So I can remove the screwdriver out of here now. Just let the tiles settle, like that. Find a good place for the cable that doesn't have tension on it. Beautiful. Cool. Come and have a look. It looks pretty nice, eh? Nice and secure, nice and neat. I'm just going to put some silicone on the screws just so it doesn't leak under them and inside the panel. Want to have a close look? Check it out. Not bad, eh? Very tidy. Cool. Let's go hook it up. Alright guys, so now we've got to hook it up to the battery in the car. Now I want a connection here available all the time, so when I park the car I can just plug it in. So I'm going to have it permanently wired to the battery with just a quick connector, okay? So I thought I'd just use one of these Nava 2-pin connectors. Alright, they're pretty cheap, they're pretty basic, and you just push them in, pull them apart again. They're pretty much insulated, the terminals are hidden up inside, so they're not going to rat around, touch anything in short circuit. Going to use a couple of terminal rings just on the available bolts on the battery terminals there. And just got to run a small length of the same 2-core double sheathed cable. So what I thought we'd do is just run it up through here like this. I'll run it up under here so it's nice and neat to the ground terminal, and I'll run one to the positive terminal, and I'll just have our connector just hanging here somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to make up that little cable now. Okay, so here's our lead. Got the two ring terminals on the end there, and our connector. You'll see the terminals are nice and hidden up inside there, so nothing's going to touch it, right, and short circuit or anything. So let's stick it in. It's going to feed it up there through there like that. This one's going to go into here, up there. And ground is going to continue on around here like this. Lovely, lovely. Okay, so let's put our positive on first, of course. Lovely. Now we'll put our earth on. Like that, cool. So that's the wiring in our car done, and as you can see, the plug is just sitting there like that, all tucked away nicely. Cool, looks quite neat, hey? Alright, so let's finish off wiring the house. Okay, so now I've got the cable coming through to the ceiling, down through into my garage. Down, down, down. And what I'm going to do here is fit a little Nava fuse block, okay, just so that if anything ever happens with the cable, either up there or down here, and it short circuits, the fuse will pop instead of causing any problems, okay? So this is a great little fuse box. It's a 4-way. I'm really just going to use half of it. So I'm just going to pop that in here. Like that, cool. I'm just going to cut these and wire it in and out of it. And we can continue. Alright, so there we go. Comes down from the roof into the fuse block. I've got a fuse on each line and then to the car. So now we've just got a wire from here to the car. Alright guys, so I've got the end on there now for the car. Right, now when the car's in action, so you can just store the cable there on the engine stand. When we want to charge it, we just unroll it. Feed it down across to the car next to the wheel so no one trips over, and then we just run it round the front like this, and I can put it up through the spoiler into the engine bay and then plug it on like that. Okay, now she just sits there while the car's parked up. You can close the bonnet because I tried. Charging away. Alright, so let's see if she's working now. Okay, so it's all mounted and wired up now. How about we check the output of the panel before we go connecting it to the car. So we're going to put this on 200 volts, okay? And just check the hot side of the fuse box. Okay, here and here. .5 volts, okay. That's because this panel isn't regulated due to it being such a small output, 0.4 amps. And the 12 volt battery system will pull that down to 12 volts. So let's just check the current we've got now across the panel. .18. It's the afternoon, it's probably in about half sun, so that's why we're not seeing the whole 0.4 amps there. Alright, but she is charging. Alright, so we've got it connected up to the car now, so let's just insert our fuses. One in there, and one in there. Okay. And that'll protect this side of the wiring from the fuse box to the car, just in case we ever get a short and it's not going to damage anything in the car. Now we can just clip our little fuse box cap on top, like that, to trim it all off. Looks nice, huh? Cool. Alright guys, well we're all done. We've got our solar panel up on the roof now, and she's all wired up. She's connected to the car, and it's maintenance charging the battery now when it's parked up. So it's going to be ready to crank over when I need it. Now, as we showed, this solar panel, it's not regulated because it's such small output. If you are emo about that, which I am a tiny little bit, you can go and get a external charge controller, right, such as this one, and just put it in the line, and then you'll never have to worry about it. This will also show the operation of what's going on, where it's up to in the charge cycle and everything, so you can more visually keep an eye on what's happening. But it's really a optional extra for this kind of low ampage system. Anyway, that can be video for future Nev's Garage. So until then, please keep sharing, liking and subscribing the videos here at Nev's Garage, and we'll see you next time.